Hi guys, welcome to my first Visual C++ 2012 tutorial, and this tutorial will be dealing with setting up your IDE. Now, your IDE is basically the application that you'll be using to develop all of your applications, your code, etc. So let's get started. What you want to do is you want to open up your web browser and you want to head to the following website, and I'll leave the link in the description for you guys. And once at that link, what you want to do is you want to select your language. So I'm going to select English and click on Install Now. Now it's going to download a tiny Visual Studio installer, and once you double click on that, it's going to download Visual Studio and install it on your computer. Now once you've done that, you should have Visual Studio installed, and you can basically go into your Start menu, All Programs, scroll down a little bit, and you can see Microsoft Visual Studio 2012 Express, and you want to select VS Express for desktop. Once you've launched that application, you should be met with a page similar to this one. So let's get started with creating our first application. So I'm going to select New Project, and in the Templates menu you want to expand Visual C++ and then select Win32 and ensure that Win32 console application is checked in the main pane. Next, you can give your application a name to the bottom, so I'm going to call mine YouTube Project, and then select OK and Finished. And this is going to create our basic template for our application. Okay, your project should be successfully built, and you should see your source code on your screen. Now, this right here is known as our source code, and we'll be editing our source code to develop our applications. Now, this tutorial won't teach you coding. What the purpose of this tutorial is basically to ensure your compiler and your IDE is set up properly. So just do as I do, and it's okay if you don't understand any of the code. I will be going over it in the next tutorial. Right now we just want to see if you've installed and set up your compiler and IDE properly. So just do as I do. So under our first line of code, stdafx, we want to do an include again, and between a less than sign and a greater than sign you want to type in IOStream, and under that we want to do using namespace std and semicolon, and we've added 2 lines of code to our program. Now we need to add 2 more lines which we'll add to our main function. So you need to head in between your open curly braces and your close curly braces. Right above your return 0, you want to add cout less than sign, and a quote, and I'm going to type in hello world, end quote, and a semicolon. Let's jump to the next line by hitting enter, and let's add cin.get and open parenthesis and close parenthesis semicolon. So this is our basic C++ application, and in order to run this we want to go to debug and click on start debugging, and would you like to build? Select yes. So as you can see, we developed our first C++ application successfully. It's a basic console application that displays text on the screen. Now, it's okay if you don't understand any of the code in this tutorial. The purpose of this tutorial was just to ensure that you had everything set up properly so that you can begin coding in the next tutorial. Now, what I'll do is I'll try to include the source code in the description so that you guys can simply copy and paste it and just debug it and ensure that your IDE is set up properly. So that's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Remember to subscribe to my channel and rate and comment on my video. So until next tutorial, guys, bye.